evening and welcome to our latest video in the Mark II Burnley career mode. And tonight's video features ourselves in the European Super Cup, chasing our second European prize of the calendar year against Everton. And our second prize already this season, if we can manage it tonight, against Everton, who won the Europa League last year. And of course, as you know, Burnley won the UEFA Champions League, in also better known in old money as the European Cup. Now this will be the last game of August. We'll also take a look at the final knockings of the transfer window as well. See what we could bring in terms of personnel at the end of the window, because there's always room to bring in more personnel if the wage and the transfer budget allows, of course. Anyway, let's get over there to the European Super Cup final, where I'm in position to bring you the all-important team news for Burnley. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the European Super Cup final between the UEFA League winners Everton and, of course, the Clarets, who, of course, as you may remember, back in May, won the European Cup. And Burnley are, of course, maybe to add a second piece of silverware at the start of the season. And we're amongst the gathered spectators here to see what happens tonight. It's a bit of a Northwest derby, this European final. Very much a European occasion, but there's certainly a Northwest English feel to it. A team from Lancashire and a team from Merseyside line up. And this is the Burnley lineup. Frank Lampard comes in there to play alongside Van der Vaart. Jason Shackle continues in place of injured Kurt Zuma. Otherwise it's the same team. Now let's have a look at Roberto Martinez's 11. Howard is the goalkeeper, experienced guy. Schneiderlin will be very crucial to them in that midfield area alongside McCarthy. Barkley will be the furthest attacking midfielder, and Romelu Lukaku is the lone striker. And his understudy there, as you can see, Samuel Eto'o. He's won many European prizes in his days at Barcelona. He's a handy player to have on the substitutes bench, even at the ripe old age of 34. So two Northwest clubs going up against each other. Referee tonight's from Germany, Heiner Schaniti. We look at the bearded Tim Howard. Burnley, both sides in traditional colours, of course. Burnley, of course, in the claret and blue. Everton in the all blue shirts with white shorts and blue socks. Burnley with the record white shorts and claret socks as the German referee gets us underway. Burnley attacking from right to left. Here's Oxlade-Chamberlain. Danny Ings gets his first touch of the ball. Ings tries the shot and already forces Tim Howard into making a magnificent save. As we see it again, Howard didn't want to take the chance. It may have been rocketing onto the post. So Frankie Lampard to swing the first corner of the match in. An easy one there for Tim Howard. Big American goalkeeper. Champions of Europe up against the Europa League winners. Everton heroically won that in dramatic fashion back in May, of course. Burnley won the European Cup. Had to beat the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona to get anywhere near as Harry Kane tries to shot on the turn. And a goal kick. Both sides very much represented. Everton on the right hand side, that's where their supporters are gathered behind that Tim Howard goal, and Burnley, of course, to the left hand side. Both teams will attack their own supporters in the second half. So here's Harry Kane. He's got Ings waiting in the middle. Can't find him in the end. Good header one in the end, and Everton now leading the charge out. And McGeady's was popping up on the left hand side, and McGeady has got it by way of an interception, and he's through now. It's Eddie McGeady pulls the shot wide, but it came about from a Clarets mistake. And in the end, he couldn't hit the target. Burnley, of course, won the League Cup, the FA Cup and the Championship, as well as the European prize last season. Amazing season. They've already won the Community Shield already this month, lucky to get their second trophy in the opening month of the season. The league form has been a little bit suspect. The only convincing performance so far in the league out of the 3 league games we've seen them in is that drubbing the QPR at Loftus Road, but the 2 home games they've struggled against Southampton, certainly struggled in the last one against Sunderland. And here's Lukaku, and he's hit the post. Everton could have took the lead there. Burnley again looking a little bit shaky there in defence. Kane. Ings is waiting in the middle, halfway through the first half. Little chip in there towards Danny Ings. Good save. Well, both teams now having the same amount of chances. Good open field of the game. Still no goals though. Here's Lampard. Chamberlain. Lovely skill again. Kane tries the back foot. Just gets a little bit fortunate there with it. Ings now getting in the shot. Good save. Tim Howard again producing the heroics. Good tackle. Barter well in there, and that's a good ball. Kenny's onto it here like a flash. We've played over half an hour and again Ings waits in the centre. Comes to Chamberlain. Good save again. Van der Vaart off the crossbar and into the back of the net, but the flag is up for offside, obviously, against Danny Ings. Good save initially there from Chamberlain, and then it came to Van der Vaart. He smashed it against the crossbar, and as you can see, Ings was clearly offside, and that's why the goal did not come for love nor money. It's of course in the England party that's going to face Sweden in the last 2 group. Sweden amongst the last 2 group games in the Euro 2016 qualifiers. England at least win both for them. It at least means they'll be qualifying in style. Moving away rather carelessly then by Alexei Chamberlain. Now here comes McGeady again. It's not a bad ball, though he played the ball back, and here's Barkley. Pienaar trying to get in there, and a corner is given as we come towards the end of the first half. This is Everton's best opportunity, created by Romelu Lukaku. Struck it well at the inside of the post, and luckily for Burnley it came away. So a corner then to Everton. Last couple of minutes of the first half then. Low corner, but it's well dealt with. Here's Trippier. One ball looking for Ings, and he's found him superbly. Ings with a little cross in there towards Redmond. Good save. Well, that's probably one of his better saves, that from Tim Howard. He's made some super saves in this first half to deny Burnley players. That's the latest from Nathan Redmond, the former Birmingham youngster. That's a really good save. So Frank Lampard to take the corner. And he's hit this with some Fedden! Good header won by Harry Kane, but again, easy save there for Howard, and it should be half time. Might have one more attack. Ings. Comes to Chamberlain. And is that saved again? Yes, it is. What a great piece of goalkeeping there by Tim Howard. Chamberlain struck it for all his might. And he got a good enough hand on it, Howard. Last play of the first half. Howard there again. And that will be that, as far as the first half is concerned. So it's goalless. Tim Howard has made some magnificent saves in the night. Several Burnley players. Lukaku came closest to Everton when he hit the post. But at half time here in this European Super Cup, it's Burnley 0, Everton 0. Hello everybody and welcome back. Away we go in this second half. No changes from either side in this European Super Cup as Ross Barkley now comes forward. Both sides in fact attacking the end where all their supporters are situated. Everton to the right and Burnley to the left. Here come Everton attacking that right hand goal, but Trippier is there now to break away down the Burnley right hand side towards the goal on our left. Now Van der Vaart. And that is a strongly overhit pass intended for Danny Ings, but he couldn't quite reach that one. Just to remind everyone, if it ends level at the end of 90 minutes, we will have extra time. And if it's still level, we will have a penalty shootout. But I just think they should go straight to penalties, really. Not bother with the extra half hour, like they do in the Community Shield, which Burnley actually won by a goal scored by Bentaleb in the second half, if you remember. Frank Lampard there in his last season in professional football. He's had a checkered and successful career. And at the moment, it's being played in rather a sluggish fashion, but Kane has done magnificently well and has dispossessed the Everton player. But then he ran into traffic with Jagielka. Burnley get a throw. And what about it, Kane? No, not a good throw actually by Harry Kane. In fact, an advantage played and Lukaku is onto it. So too was Trippier. Van der Vaart. Frankie Lampard. Now what can an old maestro do here? Was he tripped? No, says the referee. The German referee was unmoved. No free kick, he says. 20 minutes of the second half to go. Burnley 0, Everton 0 in this UEFA Super Cup final, and maybe it needs the one goal that's going to win it, but here come Everton now, and they're bursting through and they've scored a magnificent goal. But he needed something magnificent to give him the lead. Tom Eaton, can't believe it, it's Leighton Baines with a right-footed shot. He's mainly known deadly for his left foot. This is weaker foot that's put Everton ahead in this Super Cup final, and if Burnley are going to win their second potential trophy of the season, they have now got to come from behind. It's the Europa League winners who have the lead here against the European champions. Leighton Baines is the scorer. After 74 minutes, Van der Vaart has picked up a slight knock. Burnley needn't worry because it's going to be a good couple of weeks or so before their next competitive fixture, partly due to the fact that there's an international break. Here's Redmond though for Van der Vaart. Still Van der Vaart. Van der Vaart blocked. It can't. Chamberlain couldn't get it out from under his feet. Here's Trippier though. Van der Vaart once more. Twisting and turning and got his shot in, but it's hit the stanchion at the back rather than the back of the net. Good reaction from Burnley, who need to score to force the extra half an hour here. Eto'o comes on for Everton. 10-minute cameo replacing Romelu Lukaku, so it's like for like in terms of substitutions there for Everton. Chamberlain in all of that has picked up a yellow card, but he's won the ball back. He's got Kane up ahead of him. Harry Kane now. Still going. Still going. Still going. Goal! Brilliant goal by Kane. It's 1-1. And he's saying to everybody now in the Burnley side, we've still got 7 minutes to win this, boys. And he absolutely bamboozles Tim Howard at the near post. And it's 1-1 in the European Super Cup. Harry Kane has saved the Clarets skins. And we have a finish and a half in store now, folks. 1-1 here. 10 minutes there between the two goals. Baines after 74 minutes and Harry Kane after 84 minutes. One each. A super game of football. And Barkley nearly made it 2-1 Everton. But just placed his shot narrowly wide of that Burnley goal. A lucky escape then for the Clarets. Now I have to say I've not been at their fluid best. That's always the problem when you're the league champions. You're there to be shot at, and it's extra motivation for the opposition, whoever it is. Offside given. I have to say that looked a little bit dubious. But to be honest, I thought he was standing in line, but obviously there must have been no more than about half a yard, didn't it? If that, maybe less, perhaps. But anyway, free kick to Everton. Nodded away. Now it's just a case of trying to see it out maybe for us. Extra time. Newton gets the ball. Here's Shaw. Chamberlain now for Burnley. And he's away from Coleman as if he wasn't there. And he's got Kane and Ings now waiting. Busted again in the middle. That's just too high for Kane. Final whistle. 1-1 it is then. And extra time will be played here. So Kane and welcome back everybody to the European Super Cup. Well, we're now into extra time. No changes from anybody here as we kick this second half, kick this first period of extra time underway. 15 minutes each way, remember. Here's Redmond. Good save by Howard. And if there's no further scoring after this extra half an hour, we will have a penalty shootout. Or if it ends a draw, we might have one goal apiece in extra time. We don't know yet. Anyway, it's a corner to be taken by Frank Lampard. Lampard flips it in. There's the header! Just wide. Kane with a header. And he just went fractionally wide of that Everton post. So Howard with the goal kick. Just to remind everybody, it's 15 minutes each way. If we don't find a winner in that 30 minutes, 15 each way, we will have a penalty shootout. And it'll be the first penalty shootout we've had on this Mark II career mode. If memory serves me right, Kane has gone down there. Lampard is in, and Kane is in a lot of trouble and may well have to be substituted. So that is the replay of what happened there. Oh, you feel for him. So a drop ball, Van der Vaart just spoilingly knocks it back to, well, knocks it out of play for a goal kick. It's a real shame, really. Let's hope that is nothing too serious. I mean, we've got the 2 England games, so it might be a week or so, we don't know. Sam Rokes is the man who's replaced Frank Lampard, and also Ben Taleb has come on as well for Kane. So a little bit of extra energy in the midfield areas. Van der Vaart, who's almost running on half empty here, goes charging forward and is missed. An utterly brilliant chance right at the end almost of this first period of extra time. That was the lead for the taking, but it wasn't taken. Well, there's just no separating these Northwest rivals. One from Merseyside, one from East Lancashire. One who've won the Europa League and one who's won the Champions League. And I tell you what, both sets of players, I have to say, from both the Clarets and the Toffees, have given their teams nothing but fantasticness. Luke Garbutt will come on. He will get at least 15 minutes or so. Besic is the man who's been withdrawn, so Luke Garbutt will come on for the rest of extra time and possibly penalties if it is to end level. The tackle. Well, both teams now having played their hearts out for 90 minutes to see who is the cream of the crop as far as Europe is concerned. They've certainly had a battle and a half, and he's made an extraordinary 11 saves in the entire contest. That is some going from Tim Howard. Seaton takes a short goal kick this time. Will we have one more attack? No, we won't, so we'll swap round. It's 1-1 in half time in extra time. We'll be back for the second period next. 1-1 here in the UEFA. Well, we're literally a quarter of an hour potentially away from a spot kick shootout, and Everton making a change. Gareth Barry coming on for James McCarthy. So unless one of these two sides can find a winning goal in the next quarter of an hour, we could be on for a penalty shootout to decide who wins the European Super Cup. Both in fact going for it for the very first time in their history. So a new name will be on that trophy come what may tonight, as Barry goes round the back, puts in a very deepish cross. Trippier's there. Now what's he giving here? Is it a corner? We look at one of the opportunities that fell for Van der Vaart right at the end of the second half, and right at the end of the first period of extra time in fact, and it just missed by not by a long shot anyway. So an Everton corner in front of the Evertonians behind that goal. The header back off the top of the crossbar. And it was almost an own goal there by number 6 Shaw. So Burnley get a little bit of a lucky break and a corner kick to Everton. 8 minutes of extra time to go, still 1-1. And if it stays the same for the next 8 minutes plus time added on, we will have penalties. Here's the corner coming in. Burnley now more or less camped inside their penalty box, but it's come to Winks now, who's almost running on an empty. I hope he's going to be fit enough for the England party at the start of next month, and he's got Folks up ahead, and here's Danny Ings now. Waiting on now for Folks. Oh, he couldn't get it out of his feet. 3 minutes to go now. An extraordinary end to this Super Cup final. That's going to be a free kick. Van der Vaart in the book. Had to bring the man down because he knew that Everton were going to break away rather sharply there, and he felt that he had to bring Luke Garbutt down. Called a professional foul if you like. So we're now into time added on at the end of the second period of extra time, and still 1-1. Both sides have missed at least a chance each in this second period. Everton have a free kick. Barkley, now Bentaleb. 4 minutes at the end. Fourth official down below me, but that's enough, says the referee. So a penalty shootout it will be. Baines and Kane the scorers. So a penalty shootout it will be after a 1-1 draw in the European Super. Well again, and welcome back to the penalties. Danny Ings to go first for Burnley. Just to remind you that it's 5 penalties each, and if it's level after 5 penalties, we'll have sudden death to decide who wins the European Super Cup. Danny Ings in with the first penalty for Burnley. 1-0. confidently placed. Now Leighton Baines with the first Everton spot kick, usually deadly with his left foot. Deadly accurate. Against the crossbar! So a miss there for Baines. Some blokes with Burnley's second penalty. 2-0! And Burnley have a commanding lead. Samuel Edo up next for Everton. And it's in there, 2-1. So it's 2-1 then, as Chamberlain takes Burnley's third spot kick and succeeds magnificently. 3-1. Aidan McGeady now with the third one for Everton against Tom Heaton. 3-2. Well, that one miss at the start may well be crucial now from Leighton Baines. Van der Vaart with the fourth Burnley spot kick. And it's saved by Howard. And Gareth Barry now has a chance to make it 3-3. And he has. So we're all square again. And now it's effectively sudden death now. Redmond for Burnley. And he's saved by Howard. And if Pienaar scores from this spot kick, Everton have won the European Super Cup. And he hasn't! It goes on! So it's sudden death now. Ventelev with the first sudden death spot kick. And he scored! And Burnley are in the lead. 4-3. So Jagielka must score. Otherwise Burnley have won the Super Cup. And he's missed it! And Burnley have won their second trophy of the season. They won it by 4-3 on penalties. Goals from Baines and Kane. It ended 1-1 after extra time. And Baines and Jagielka missed from the spot for Everton. They're the runners-up. And Burnley clinched their second trophy of the season. For Mike Evans, Everton had to make him work very hard. But it's the Clarets who come out on top and win their second trophy of the season. And Kieran Trippier, the captain, the newly installed captain, will lift his second prize of the season from Michel Platini, the president of UEFA. What a moment for him. So, the European Super Cup for the very first time then goes to Kieran Trippier and to Burnley. Well, the potential of 6 trophies is very much on now. They've won 2 already in August. Will they win 4 more by the end of May? That remains to be seen, but Burnley have started the season really well. 2 trophies bagged and an unbeaten record to start the Premier League. Well, my Evans, Everton can be proud of the way they played as well and made it a really exciting European Super Cup final. But it's Burnley a triumph after a 1-1 draw by winning the UEFA Super Cup by 4-3 on penalties.